Life is different for a person who works for themselves or is an entrepreneur or even a high performer. And I want to talk about that today. The thought process, the things that you're going to have, some of the mindset changes that I see some of my coaching clients going through, some of the struggles that I've felt with personally, and some of those things. So I thought this video would be a great time to sort of arm you with the tools and the weapons that you need to get through that. Let's dig into it. So, some of this is going to be counterintuitive depending on who you are and what it is exactly that you do for a living or you did for a living before you entered into the entrepreneurial phase or starting your own business or anything like that. So, first off, you want to look for rejection, failure, and the unknown. That's going to be weird at first because you've spent most of your life not doing that and avoiding that at all costs. In fact, in school, that was exactly what you didn't want to do. But there's a portion of Google, and this is a story that I read a while ago, so I'm going to probably mess it up a little bit, but there's a portion of Google that is all about R&D. I think it's called Google X, and they are all about R&D. And after the teams fail, if they fail, they take a week off work. So they're actually rewarded for failure, and they go out, they get a reset, they come back refreshed, look for something new to start working on. And I don't necessarily want you to take a vacation, though I think that's important, as some of my other videos have said, but I do want you to look for failure points. As an entrepreneur, as a person who is in business for themselves or at least working for themselves, even if you're in a contract role for a lot of portions of this, you are going to look for that failure point. You're going to look for what is not there. A good company that builds really good products is going to build something, test it, look for weak points, and then they're going to fix those, and then they're going to test it again. So it's super important that you are looking for failure points so that you can fix them and get to the next phase of your business. Now, number two, on the same note, as you were looking for failure points, you're also going to be quick to plan and quick to action. So you're going to plan and make a change and then get that change implemented quickly. This wasn't something that you were necessarily used to if you've been used to a 9 to 5 or even in a student role. This wasn't necessarily something that was there. So there are some other points that are going to come here in a little bit that will back up this function. But the reality of it is that you want to make sure that you're not stuck in the planning phase and that you plan, okay, great, that's good enough. Let's get it going into production, and it's out there and it's working, and then you can make more changes, always knowing that the process, the systems, and everything is going to be constantly fixed. It's going to be constantly upgraded. You're going to be constantly working on it so that you can get better at what it is that you do. Number three is closely related to number two, and that is that it's not perfect, and that's okay. So the reality of it is that you can really get stuck in a process of looking for perfection. And this is out there all the time. I'll share a personal story. I just started with some of the landing pages. You might have seen some of the ads that are out there. And landing pages are something that's relatively new to me in what it is that I've been doing, but I've been studying a ton. And the reality of it is that even the best people out there, the Alex Hormozis and stuff like that, they have to test. And so it's not perfect. You don't know if it's going to work or if it's not. You get a pretty good idea that it's the right direction to go, but you're going to just put it out there. It's not perfect, and that is okay. Just get it out there, get it started, start testing, move on. Number four and number five, I'm gonna put those together right here because first off, and this is a short one, I'm gonna give you the ability not to ask permission. Now, if you're just transitioning into your own business, this is super important to keep in mind that you do not have to ask permission to do something inside of your own business. You can do whatever you want. You could sell the business tomorrow if you want to. It's totally up to you. Sometimes it's funny, but I still have this thought process like, when I'm in my house, I'm like, I could just knock that wall down if I want to. Nobody's going to stop me. They can't stop me. Now, I'm going to deal with the consequences totally on my own, and that's probably not good. I'm going to get in trouble by my wife. I'm going to get in trouble for the fact that there's dust and dirt and everything over there, and I might even now have a house that's lesser in value because I've just put a big hole in the wall, but it's my wall. I can do whatever I want. And the same is true inside of your business. You don't need to ask permission. But number 5 here is, what where do you go for advice then in that situation? And I'm going to introduce you to a concept called the board of directors. Now, this can be real people that you want to talk to on a regular basis, but it can also be an imaginary set of people. Now, I don't mean, like imaginary as in like Big Bird. I mean, though he's, pretty characterized, and you could probably think what he would tell you to do. But the reality of it is that they say you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang out with. And I want you to pick the 5 people in your life who are influential on you, and you're going to use them as your board of directors. And when you have to make a decision, you're going to steer it from each one of their directions and kind of think about what that group, if they were sitting in the room, were to tell you. Now, where do you pick this board of directors? It can be anything you want, but make sure that you know enough about them to know what they would tell you. So, my wife is a person that I have on my board of directors, and I have a pretty good idea what she's going to tell me whenever I am looking at making a decision. But I have also the advantage of literally being able to ask her. But somebody like, let's say, Ryan Holiday, he might be on my board of directors as well. And I know a lot about him because I've got a lot of his thoughts and processes than the books that I've read and in the YouTube videos that I've watched. So I can kind of make some idea of what he would probably tell me. And so he can have a spot on my board of directors, even though I can't call him up and ask him what I should do. I mean, I'm happy to, Ryan, if you want to give me your cell phone number, if you happen to see this, I'd love to talk to you. But at the same time, the truth is that I probably can't. But that board of directors doesn't have to be people that are in real life and that they're physically directing me. It can just be a guiding light, in sort of to speak, if that makes sense. And then the last mindset shift that I'm going to share with you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as even a high performer, something like that, you're going to have to celebrate your scars. I'm telling you, 10 years down the road from now, when you're sitting around the table with the people who were there when the whole thing started, or people who have been there for longer than you have even, you're going to be just amazed in the war stories that everybody can tell. And if you sit down with somebody who knows now, somebody who's been in the business for a long time, they will tell you about their scars, about the lessons that they've learned. In fact, my entire book that I wrote was with the premise of, I've made some mistakes and I've made some things and I've learned, and I wanted to bring it to people so that they didn't have to make the same mistakes that I made, so that they could have some intelligence to go into this situation. And that's exactly what the YouTube channel is about as well, is trying to share the knowledge base, and make sure that people understand that. But you're going to celebrate your scars, because these things that are making you tougher are going to make you a better business person overall. So let's sum it up, and I'll read it from my little list that's right here below the camera. So looking for failure points, rejection, and the unknown is super important. Be adaptable, quick to plan, quick to action. It's not perfect, and that's okay. Don't ask permission. You don't have to. It's your ship. You do whatever you want with it. Build yourself a board of directors. And lastly, celebrate the scars. And that's it. I hope that helps. I hope it helps you make better choices and helps you know that you're not alone on this journey, because you're not. There are a ton of us out there. And I'm building a community over in school. If you're interested, there's a link below. And also, my coaching services are available there's a link for that below as well. In fact, there's a link below to all of the stuff that is what I do for a living, on the side, and all the other stuff. It's right down there. So I really hope this helped, and thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.